Hi guys, I hope you're having a wonderful day. My name is Alejandro and the world's going to shit, so I thought, why not? Let's talk about cars. Yo, hit it, Ivan. It's so nice to bring, let's talk about cars here right now in quarantine time. Just so you all know, I'm driving in my gated community. I'm going 20 miles an hour. I don't want to get into an accident. I don't want to go out there and make healthcare workers more, give them more of a problem to deal with. I'm not doing that. So I'm just driving around here for aesthetics and because I thought it would be nice to get the fuck out of our heads and think about like, oh, maybe everything is back to normal for a second. And since the world's going to shit, the first thing that I wanted to talk about, and the only thing really is, what car am I buying? And I think we gotta address the elephant in the room. A lot of people have been saying, why haven't you gotten a car? What the fuck is going on? This channel fucking sucks. Fuck you, you Mexican asshole. Your mom fucking is fat. Like, I understand all of that. I really understand all of that. But the reality is, in the YouTube scene, if you're not buying a new car, like, people get bored really fast. And I wanted to get a new car just for me, but I also didn't want to rush. When my Senna burned down a year ago, or over a year ago, when it burned down for 4 months, I didn't want to buy anything because I always tell myself, don't make any fucking stupid decisions, Alejandro, when you're in a bad mindset. So once I got my mind back and I felt like, you know what, I got everything under control. I'm not mad anymore. I'm not angry. I don't feel like a victim. Let's go. Let's buy something. I looked at the market and I realized this fucking market is inflated as shit and we're about to have a correction. That's what I noticed about a year ago. And I said that correction is going to come probably around December or early next year. As it got closer, I realized, and I put the date to be March. That's what I figured was going to be the bottom of that market, which, again, it's completely different now with everything that's going on. I don't know if you've noticed, but no one saw this coming. What I did was I pulled out of the market. I sold all my cars. And my wife and I wanted to buy a house. And also, because of the market, we wanted to buy something that we were going to build and all that stuff. But as you guys can tell, the market has completely turned around, has gone to shit. My expectation of this shit, to be honest with you guys, is everything will be shit for a very long time. Until they find a cure for this shit, there's no movie theaters, there's no gatherings, there's no sports, real estate is gonna fucking collapse, commercial like we've never seen before, like all this other stuff. And you can believe it or you don't. This is what I have in my head, and this is the reason why I'm acting the way I'm acting. So that you guys understand what's inside of this head, aside from just pieces of shit, right? Because let's face it, there's not a lot going on. But in 2010, I saw what happened. I made all of my money in 2010. Really, that's when I exploded. All of the investments that I made during that downturn is what really made me my money. And it made me realize, my God, if I do this during these times, I'm going to make more money. And if I do that, blah, blah, blah. Economics 101, right? So going into, there's going to be an adjustment. I wanted to buy a car. And that's why the market's figured out right now. I also wanted to buy a house. We wanted to buy something. We're not sure now because obviously since the market's going to go down even further, we're probably going to have a chance at getting something nicer that we don't even have to remodel, and also a really nice car because it's just bound to happen. Also, everything in this video can go to shit because let's say that this is way worse than what I predicted and, all of my fucking businesses go belly up and then that's that. Alejandro is on the streets. But if everything goes well, I should be buying a new house. Wifey will be happy, and I'll buy an incredible fucking car. I'll be very happy, and I think you guys will be happy. And these are the cars that I'm looking at right now. Are you motherfuckers ready? Because this is exactly what I had in my mind when I was going into March. And now, thank God, I have some money saved, and hopefully things will play out the way I want it to play out. And I know a lot of people are saying, Alejandro, the world's collapsing. Why are you talking about cars that you want to purchase? Because I don't fucking care. Everybody knows. Let's just think about other shit right now for a second. For a fucking second. Wow, quarantine has really got me. Anyways, let's open with car number one. And car number one will be the Ferrari LaFerrari. And the reason why I am looking and eyeballing a LaFerrari is that is one of the greatest looking cars I've ever seen in my life. The V12 sounds amazing, but let's face it, when that car came out, it was $1.4 to $1.6 million sticker. Immediately it shot up in price and it went all the way to $4 million per car. There's a few people I know that bought a LaFerrari for $4 million. I checked numbers in the last auctions that we saw about 2 months ago. And in those months, I saw cars trading. The last LaFerrari I saw trading was traded for $1.9 million. So my guess that everything around March was going to be in the shit was right. And also a lot of car dealers stocked on cars. I don't know if you guys know this, but around early February and pretty much early March, all car dealers stocked their inventory, for the most part in the United States, with used cars because they were like, this is a great time to buy cars. We're buying them so cheap. So we were on the same page. Except we didn't know that this shit was gonna hit the way it did, right? And car sales right now in the world and in the US specifically, are 70% down. I mean, think about that. And in some places, 90% down. That is fucking wild to think about. So when I'm looking at the LaFerrari and thinking, oh, in March it's going to be 1.9 million, maybe that's the one that I'll give myself, like it'll be nice. I'm looking now at a number. I think the LaFerrari will go down to $1.5 million. That's my bold prediction on the LaFerrari. If a LaFerrari touches 1.5, you got a fucking customer right here, right now, baby. Let's do this. Another Ferrari that I have my eyes on is the TDF. I love the TDF. That F12 TDF is one of the sexiest, better sounding cars you'll ever see in your fucking life. Period. TDFs came out, they were $500,000 if you could get one from Ferrari, which again, it's impossible for regular human beings like ya boy. And also being Mexican's disgusting, so you guys would understand. At least that's what I'm told by everyone. So when it came out, it was $500,000 and it immediately jumped into $1.3 million. There was a few cars that traded for $1.3 million fucking dollars. A $500,000 car, which is insane. Good for Ferrari, beautiful car, one of my favorite ones, limited to 800 units. Again, for my bold prediction in March, the car was gonna be down around $700,000. The last auction car that we saw sell was a yellow car, which is not the best Ferrari color, but it's not the worst, for $660,000 with less than 1,000 miles on it. So the price was already getting there where I was like, all right, I'm willing to make a move. Now, my guess is it'll touch the $500,000 mark, no problem. That is my guess on this market on the TDF. Let's jump into the next one, McLaren. Of course, because I fucking hate myself and I want to get beat in the face with a dick all the time until I have a black eye and then go back for more. That is my relationship with McLaren. God, I love him. And the McLaren Senna, let's talk about the Senna. When the Senna came out about a year ago or a year and a half ago, it was $1 million to get one. And there's some idiots that went out there and paid $1.5 million. Fucking dumbasses. And after that, those idiots bought it at 1.5. The dealers were asking 1.7. That is the highest number I saw thrown in a Senna. So $1.7 million. Now, I knew the car was going to take a hit. I knew the fire problems were going to damage the car too. And I knew this was going to be a fast depreciating car. I knew all of those things. But I didn't know that it was going to be at the point that it's now. I predicted that by March, the car was going to be $800,000. Now, I was almost dead on, no, I was dead on the money. Someone actually tried to sell me a car that I knew for $800,000. And then I said no, he sold it for $800,000. I'm so fucking lucky. I've seen a couple cars already trade for $750,000, give or take. I think the Senna now can touch the 600s and maybe even the 500s. That is fucking bananas. And I'm sorry, at that point, slap me with that dick again until I have another black eye. No problem. And from that McLaren, let's talk about the other one that I've always wanted. What about the P1? I've always loved and been obsessed with the P1. One of my favorite cars of all time. When they came out, they were $1.15 million. That's how much they were. Brand new, if you could get it from McLaren, which everybody could. I was able to, I just couldn't afford it at the time. Then the car, a year later, hit an impressive high of $2.5 million. That is fucking pricey for a regular car, let alone for anything else, but that it's worth it. It's a P1, the successor of the F1. Like, it's got big shoes to fill, and I think McLaren did a hell of a job now looking back at it too. Right now, my bet was that P1s were going to touch the $1.1 million mark. They're at 1.211 right now. You can buy several P1s for that. I think the P1's going to depreciate not as much as the Senna, because the P1 is very special still. And I think that P1 is going to depreciate all the way down to $800,000 maybe. If it gets to that level, your boy is making a move. Because my God, what an incredible fucking car and what an incredible deal. It'll go back up again. No fucking question about it. And what about the 4GT? 4GT is one of those cars that you guys know that I've been very interested in getting for a very long time. And when they came out, they were $450,000, $500,000. Sticker if you could get one from Ford. Obviously, because you couldn't sell or trade, these cars immediately jumped to $1.5 million, which is 3 times the sticker price. It is fucking bananas. But let's face it, Ford announced that they were going to make 1,500 altogether, or probably even more cars, and they have. And the 2-year options are expiring in the car. And by now, I thought the 4GT would be cheaper than what it is right now, but it's about to be adjusted. I was guessing that by now, every single trade of those was going to be $750, and they're trading at about $1 million right now, $900,000 some. So I was really low on the 4GT. It's kept its value tremendously, but right now, the more that I see coming, the more I feel the depreciation, And I actually do think that the 4GT, based on the number of units that they're going to be making, based on all of these 2-year contracts ending, based on the economy, I think those cars are going to trade at some point for $400,000, maybe high 300s. Oh my God, that is something that I would absolutely jump on. Just like Kylie Jenner in the shower. Wait, what? No. I'm just, babe, if you're watching this, I'm obviously kidding. And I think last but not least, let's talk about the one car that is beyond the unicorn that I never thought I'd be thrown into this conversation. And let's talk about the Ferrari Enzo for a second. That's fucking right, the Ferrari Enzo. The Ferrari Enzo is going to be the first Ferrari, in my opinion, the first modern Ferrari to cross the $20 million mark. I really think so. You can call me an asshole, an idiot, whatever. That's what I think. On top of that, it was designed with Michael Schumacher. Like, it's got a lot of shit that I'm into about it. I mean, I even love the windows are not electric, just like in my Beetle. So I love everything about the Enzo. And the sound, that V12, oh my God. Anyways, when they came out, they were $660,000. Immediately when they touched the floor, they were $1.2 million. About a year ago, you couldn't get one for less than $3.5 million. I think if everything goes in the way that I think it's gonna go, the Enzo might touch the $1.5 million. If he touches the $1.5 million market, that is a purchase you have to make. And again, I'm basing all this stuff, all these numbers, and all these estimates on my own numbers, on my own projections, on the stuff that I've learned and seen, and I could be absolutely totally wrong, but I was right until now. Like, right now it's getting interesting because there's also, I don't know if cars are gonna go back to being the value that they were because there's so many more than before. It's gonna take longer for the values to go up again. But again, it's not so much about buying a car to sell later at a profit. It's about driving a car, enjoying the shit out of it, and selling it without losing too much money. That is the goal. Those are the things that I have in mind. Those are the cars that I'm looking at. And in between now and then, I mean, we all got to deal with this shit, and we'll talk about more cars and all that stuff, but I don't know what's going to happen between now and then. So we're going to try to make the best of it. We're going to do more Let's Talk About Cars, yo, and I'll have more shit right here. So tell me, guys, which one of these cars are you interested in? Which one, like, is your favorite from the ones that I mentioned? And what other cars are or will be deals that I might not be looking at right now that you are like, Alejandro, what the fuck are you saying? Why are you skipping this one? Please let me know in the comments down below. Again, my name is Alejandro. Guys, we just talked about cars and I fucking love you. Take care and be safe.